to knit one, heart 2. I was trying to get this so that I could put the heart. There it is.
Part 2, episode 158.
Hi.
Sorry.
Sheila. I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37. I couldn't move my cup
Fast enough.
There we go. Well, in the sense of, with the opposite, I couldn't figure out. And it's full with hot coffee, so I really
She's Sheila, D37.
I said that.
Did you?
I did.
I'm really tired. My name is Wendy, also known as Penny Wendy, and I think I had 2 hours of consecutive sleep last night, so just bear with me.
No sympathy for her, sorry. I heart Dunkin' Donuts.
You should have sympathy for me, though, because I am not used to having that little sleep.
I know.
So
I function on so much less.
I know, seriously. That's what Suzanne was like, I feel your pain. I'm like, no, you don't, because you're used to getting up. I can't get up that early. I'm not built that way.
I was thinking this morning. Actually, so today's Tuesday, and I usually get up with my kids to get them to school. This is Cam's day to sleep in late. And it's really bright now at 6 o'clock. So all of a sudden I woke up and I'm like, it's late. I'm like, oh my God, did I miss the bus? It was like 5:45, 5:45. But I'm like, oh my God, it was so bright out. The sun was just hitting in my face.
That would freak me out.
Because I'm used to waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. There is no sun at 4 o'clock in the morning. 4:30 maybe, but not 4.
Oh, I'll tell you, 4:30, barely any sun.
Barely, but
I know, because I was driving at 4:30 this morning. There was hardly any sun at that time.
I drive every day.
I know, see?
So anyways, thanks for watching us. If you're a new viewer, thanks for checking us out. If you're a continuous viewer, thanks for coming back each week to the Crazies.
That's right.
We really do appreciate it. And you already said the episode, right?
Episode 158. And I was thinking that today's episode was going to have to be trying to raise funds to get Lois out of airport jail, but thank God that didn't happen.
I like that. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll talk about this in a minute.
Okay. So just to let you guys know, we have a couple of prizes we're giving away at the end of the show.
Yeah.
We have the Annika Cowl Knit-Along prize that we're giving away. We're giving a beautiful cowl. No. It was a cowl or a hat. We're giving a bag, a little owl bag, which is so cute. It's a little box bag. I'd open it, but I really don't want to give up my coffee right now. So.
Because it's me, people. Yay.
So, on a side note, and for the stash busting or stash down knit-along, we're giving just what you want, more stash. But this is sock. This is online super sock.
Super sock.
That was donated to us by Siberian
Cat?
Yeah, Penny. Last week, so we appreciate this. And there's a reason why I picked that one. Not that you guys have to do it, but there's a reason why. Anyway, so that will be at the end of the show. So Sunday was May 4th.
Yes, May the 4th be with you.
Yes, I said that to my son.
Happy Star Wars Day.
And he just looked at me and started laughing. And he thought it was cute.
Yeah.
And my husband just looked at me and shook his head.
He didn't know it was a thing, I'm sure.
No, and then I saw yesterday Revenge of the 5th.
Yep.
I'm like, well, that's kind of cute because I saw it yesterday with a minion from Despicable Me dressed up as Darth Maul.
That's so cute.
It was really cute.
Yes, or as I used to live in California, hi, Ohio, Cinco de Mayo. There was always a big party on Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, I'm sure there were plenty. Although maybe not so much on a Monday night. But, so I go first. Do we have any shout-outs we need to holla? Holla.
I don't think I can. If we do, I don't know what they are because I'm so tired. If we have any shout-outs, we'll shout them out next week.
We apologize.
Some of us are really tired. Both of us are really tired.
Is that all we're going to hear about?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Just making sure. Wanted to be prepared.
Be prepared.
My actively on the knitting is still 2 things, and one I can't show you. Next week, it'll be shown. I hope. I really do hope, because my knitting time has been cut drastically. And I'll explain that later. So, I'm still working on the Trillian by Martina Bem. I only did a couple of rows. It's coming along. I changed my needles once again. I was using the Addy Turbo lace. Mm-hmm. The reason I don't like Addy Turbo, and I don't get that with Chai-Gu, is that the wires can get kinked up.
Yeah, they have memory.
But these are the plastic ones from the lace, but they still have memory. So when I was knitting it, the wires were on my face like this, and it was driving me insane. So just this morning, I switched them to my knit picks, which I will not have the same problem. Because I realized that if I don't have good needles to knit with, or, if I'm not happy with knitting something, you just don't want to do it. You don't feel the love.
If it's not flowing, yeah.
And it wasn't flowing, so I got still a long way to go. I think I'm going to knit until, if I recall correctly on the directions and people's notes, 11 or 12 grams of this is left, because you need that for the edging, because it's a lacy edge. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting there. It's squishy, but it's still got a ways to go. Although not like the clap of tea. So, anyways, that's all I have for now. Oops.
So I have 2 things on the needles. The first thing you saw, 2 things actively on the dance card. The first thing you saw is my, I'm not going to remember the name of it. I have to look it up. Brook Creek. Is that right? Brush Creek. Brush Creek Cowl by, looks like this, by Karina Spencer. Wait, I just had it. Looks like this.
Have you joined in the round yet?
Yes. I've ripped this out so many times. Oh. It's not even funny. And as you can see,
it's holding up well.
I am in the middle of putting it back on the needles after ripping it out yet again. I have moved from the black into the green, but I don't know if you're going to be able to tell.
Not really, no. I could barely even tell. It's got a slight
It's
green.
Very subtle. If you put it in the sunlight, you can see it.
It's like a hunter green, from a black to a hunter green.
It's a really dark hunter green, but you can see it. It's moved into the hunter green.
Now, have you tried it on that it fits?
Yes, because I did here, I'll show you. I did a yarn over.
Oh yeah, much better.
Much better. With the yarn over. Every row, I did a yarn over before the last stitch, and then the next row, I dropped it, did another yarn over, and adding that extra give into each edge stitch made this a very, and you can't. It's not like you notice a difference.
No, you don't notice at all.
You notice a difference, but it gives it a stretch that it just didn't have before.
Oh, that's good.
So if you're gonna knit. If you're going to knit this
pattern,
if you're going to knit this, I highly recommend doing that for
Shoot it, Elizabeth, shoot
it. Oh my goodness. I went into swamp people. Apparently when I'm tired, I go into swamp people.
Apparently. That was Troy.
This pattern is well written, and I want to say I've ripped this out like 40 times. I think it's a combination of me not paying attention and knitting in black yarn.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to read my knitting with this black yarn. I've never knit this much with black yarn before.
No.
I've never have. So, and then I was knitting on it this weekend when I was out with my friends, hanging with my friends, and I think I just wasn't paying attention.
So
I kept reading the instructions wrong.
As you were hoping it to be.
This is not as mindless as I was hoping it would be. And then I realized the lace was off by a stitch. I don't know. It's just a big mess. So I gotta fix it. To rip it back and fix it, but that's okay. It'll get there. I'm still working on it. I don't hate knitting the pattern. I'm just having trouble concentrating on it. So this is not the project for me to be working on right now. That's number 1. Number 2, I showed you when I was in Maine. I bought this Regia, Schackenmeyer Regia Floro something. Flora Colors. Floromania. That's right. I don't have the label anymore. I threw it out. So I decided to knit this pattern. I don't have it with
Spiral.
Mystik Spiral Socks.
By Josh Rykes. R-Y-K-S.
Who is also known as Sort of a Knitter. It was gifted to us, so...
No.
Yeah, it was gifted to us.
It was gifted to you. I gifted it to you.
Oh, Sheila gifted it to me.
I bought one for me and I bought one for you.
Sheila gifted it to me.
How do you like it?
I love it.
How do you like the pattern? I haven't tried it yet.
I love the pattern is what I'm talking about. The sock yarn's okay. I mean, it's...
Sock yarn.
I love the colors of the sock yarn.
Little,
large?
Yeah. For you. That's...
Okay.
How many stitches is that?
64.
Really?
Okay.
What size needle?
The same I always use, 2.
Oh, see, I don't use 2.
I always knit with a 2, but I'm...
Wow. I like the toe, though.
It's a round toe. I've never knit a toe like this before. I like the construction of the toe.
Did you do the yarn overs?
Yeah.
Because I think that's what he
Yarn
calls
over
it.
and knit through the back loop.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but I did it. I was like, why are we doing the, But, I cast this on because I wanted to knit something that was low-key and easy.
Is it?
Yeah. The only thing is I had to rip it out a couple of times because I was doing it while I was talking with people and I kept like misreading.
So user error, not pattern error.
Apparently I just can't knit when I'm tired.
Well, yeah.
So,
kind of like don't drink and knit.
But once I got the stitch
Love
count
the colors.
right, I cast it on, and it's really fun to make it do the angle.
We'll talk later, but
it looks huge though.
It does.
I will show you in FOs. I have a pair of socks that I knit on those exact same needles, exact same stitch count. They are nowhere near that big.
But is it because it was a different pattern?
I don't
That
know.
might have drew it in more? Do you know what I mean?
Maybe. I've never had, but you know what? I'm not ripping it out again. I'm not.
No, they're just socks.
They're not, if you look, it might look a little big because of the angle on it, because it's not horribly huge.
No, there's just really no negative ease to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like normally you'd have a little bit of negative ease, but you don't really have that.
I like it. I think it's fun.
Excuse me,
This is the front.
I love the colors.
I'm just about to get into the green. You can see I'm like
Just, yeah.
tiny a bit away from getting to the green.
I can't wait to start.
I know, I love it. So I highly recommend this pattern. Those are the two things that are actually on the needles right now. The silk shawl, the seashell shawl, that's in timeout, man. I looked
Indefinite
for lace.
timeout for a while.
Looked for lace to match it at Maryland Sheep and Wool, and I found some but I didn't have it with me, so I couldn't compare. And I was like, it was $55 for another skein because it's silk.
No, I know.
And I was like, ugh. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I have to put that aside until I feel like emotionally ready to deal with it.
What you should do is go on the Blue Moon in Ravelry and see if someone's trying to sell it or have used it and if they have any scraps.
Yeah, I should probably just put an inquiry if anybody has
Yeah.
it. It probably won't match any better than it would if I bought something else. But
I know, but maybe you don't have to buy a whole skein. Maybe they have half a skein. They
yeah,
can
or I
send
can
you.
just knit the edging on 3 sides of the shawl and 2
that
sides
too.
of the shawl instead of 3, which is
do that
probably what
too,
I'm going to end
but-
up doing. I'm just, just because it's the easier thing to do. I'm just annoyed.
I don't blame you.
I'm annoyed. That shawl, it's so beautiful, but
I
it
know.
annoyed me. It was a lot of work. That I haven't had good knitting mojo lately, so I was pleasantly surprised that this was positive mojo for me. This is flying. I'm barely even, literally,
It's
I got
knitting
to
itself.
I got to the airport. I got to the gate at like 9:30. Cast this on. Flew. Got home at 1:30. So 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. So that's 5 hours. I wasn't even knitting the whole time because some of the time I was like reading a magazine or doing stuff. And got this like I'm almost up to
That's great.
the middle of the foot. So and it's fun. I'm enjoying it.
Good.
So I highly recommend it. That's all I have on the dance card.
Whirlwind Romance. Looks like I'll take control this week.
I don't have a whirlwind romance.
No whirlwind. Okay.
I didn't spin because
You weren't around.
the next thing I am doing is I'm going to sample the stuff that I received
That's
from
right.
Lewitt for review. But I did not because my mom was in town and then I left on Friday morning for Maryland. I didn't have time to spin that, but I will work on that this week. So you will see that next week as a review of those fibers.
Okay, and I never have any whirlwind romance.
She doesn't.
Nope. Gossip and no crushes
No.
and heartbreaks.
No. We
Future
skipped,
dates.
We skipped no. We skipped rate your date.
Well, we skipped it because I don't have anything to rate. Do you?
I have a date to rate.
Okay, then I apologize.
I do have a date to rate. I finished my socks. I wore them. So
Oh,
they're
that's
a little
right.
baggy. They have some smuts on them. I'm not gonna hold them up too close.
I see that you eat.
oh yeah. Look, where is it?
It was on the other side. That's why I said it.
I didn't weave the ends in yet. I wore them, but I didn't weave the ends in yet. So these are them. So I started out doing the Aquaphobia
This
sock.
is the hodgepodge sock.
I did the Aquaphobia sock, and then I got tired of doing Aquaphobia like right here, so I changed to a twisted rib with a little cable in it. But then I got tired of doing the little cable, so then I just went to 2x2 twisted rib.
And I give you credit for sticking with the twisted rib. I can't stand twisted rib.
I don't mind doing twisted rib. These socks are awesome. These were also knit in a same exact needle, number 2, 64 stitches.
But the pattern brings it in.
The pattern brings it in, but the top isn't giant, and I've worn them, so they've had some stretch, you know? So, I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, those are my socks. I finally finished them. That is a project of shame that only took me a year to complete.
That's not so bad.
But at least it's done. Oh, and the yarn is Into the World Pococo sock in the Muse Pooling colorway, and I love how it came out.
It's really pretty.
They're so pretty. And I got to hang out with Chris for a little bit this weekend, so that was cool. Yeah, I loved it. So that is my date rated. Thank goodness that's off. I can't believe
that must feel good to get that off.
I do. It feels good. I'm happy to have started this sock, though. I don't think this is going to take me as long. And I have to say, it does go much faster when you're just knitting one at a time.
It does. So, and it makes you feel more accomplished when that's done because you have a small little project to write.
The only thing that I'm worried about is that by the time I get done with the one sock, I'm going to be like, I don't want to knit another sock. We'll see what happens. It's going to go in the opposite direction on the other sock, I think.
Right, reverse.
So maybe that'll make it like fresh or whatever. So anyway, that's it for my date rated. I love the Aquaphobia sock pattern. It's by Crystal Flanagan. This is the second time I've knit it. The only reason that it wasn't good is on...
Sorry, I'm purling along.
On 2 at a time, I kept forgetting whether it was a row that went slip 1, knit 1, or knit 1, slip 1. And on small needles, it's hard to tell from the back of the sock.
Well, and it's also hard to tell when you're not doing it at
well,
a
and I
regular
kept putting it
basis.
up and down, and I just got tired. It's not like I hated the pattern. I just got tired of trying to figure that out and having it be wrong and having to rip back. And I just was like, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to fuss anymore. So this has been really good. This is a non-fuss sock. It looks so complicated. My mom was like, oh, I don't think I could knit that. I'm like, Mom, it is so easy. It looks fancy, but it's just short rows. You don't even have to count. You have markers in there.
That's good.
So, not at this point, but when you do this part, you put markers in so you know where to do things. It's really easy. So, that's it for Rate Your Date.
Future dates. Future dates. I want to finish what I have on the needles, and then I want to probably cast on that sock. I think it's going to come down to probably having one project on the needles again, because I'll get into it later, but my knitting time will have diminished, or has diminished, let's put it that way. Oh. So I'll get into that with my crutches and heartbreaks, but I think I will be going to one project at a time again.
Well, which is sad. My only date that I have, aside from trying to finish up the stuff that's been languishing, is I want to spin that fiber that I have been sent for review from Lewitt. So that is my goal, is to do sample mini skeins of that fiber this week so that I can show them next week.
Crushes and heartbreaks, I got a few. As you all know, my lab closed Wednesday. It was kind of sad, bittersweet. And I was hired by U.S. Laboratories, and they're based out of Brockton. So we go into Braintree, we draw, and then we got to travel to Brockton.
Yeah.
And so I put over 200 miles on my car, and that's going to cut down my knitting time, not the traveling so much, but my other position, I was there, I helped out the lab, but we were there to draw. If there were no draws, I had to still be there, so I sat and knit. Well, now, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do, but I can't just sit and knit.
No.
That's not what I was hired to do. So I think I'm going to cut down to one project at a time, because my main knitting time will be when I get home. But in all honesty, when I get home on Thursdays,
you're tired.
I'm exhausted. So I end up reading, I don't even read a lot there. I read like an hour, not even. You know, I get the dinner ready or whatever I eat, because dinner's usually ready. And now I got to pick up my son, so I might have knitting time there because he does soccer on Wednesdays and Fridays. I have somebody dropping him off, and I'll pick him up. But so Wednesday I said my goodbyes to my coworkers. Thursday did a lot of human resource stuff, but we did our labs, drove them to the facility to get processed, did some human resource stuff, and then I get to go back by myself, I think, and do a 2 o'clock draw. So what they're doing is they're doing 8 a.m. draws and 2 o'clock draws. Right. So, but it was nerve-wracking the first day because, again, what if they talked to me about possibly moving up here because they have a base up in Chelmsford, which is closer to me. Less traveling, but it would still be traveling. And I'm nervous about being by myself because if I don't get a draw, there's no one else to help me. But they said if that doesn't happen, you just call and they'll have someone else try.
Yeah, so that's
good. It makes me feel good, but it's still nerve-wracking. So Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, that's what we did. More human resource stuff. So tomorrow I'm going to go in, do my draws, and then they said when you're done, have a snack. I hope I can do that because I'm not eating at 4:30 in the morning.
Right.
And I go and draw. And if I have to eat on the way there, that's fine. We get paid to drive to this facility, and I get reimbursed for any mileage I drive.
Right.
But I really don't want to eat on the road because it's really not safe.
No.
So I'm hoping I can have a break, and then I'm to report to the lab manager and say basically put me to work. And if it means stalking, that's fine because it will keep me busy until 1 o'clock when I go over to the Braintree Rehab to do the afternoon draws. And then I'll keep myself busy for a couple hours after that. Friday, they sent me home at 4 because they said I had a long week. I'm like, great, I can go home. I'll get some hamburger stuff and cook dinner. 2.5 hour traffic. Yeah. It was, remember that time I swore on the podcast?
Yeah, it was like that. Oh my God.
No reason. It was all up until 95, and then once I crossed 95,
bam, good. Yeah.
2.5 hours. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. The first time I really get to go home early, and I was looking forward to it.
Well, that might be a good reason to maybe think about doing the Chelmsford thing.
Well, she said, so I talked to the manager, and she was asking me why I was afraid, and I told her, nobody likes change. I don't like change. You suffer through it, but I don't like change. Fear of the unknown, and I'm just afraid that I'm not going to be able to do it. And they told me, which made me feel better, they get phlebotomists straight out of school, and they go through a training program, and then they're left on their own. I'm like, well, then I should be able to do it.
Yeah, I know you can do it. I'm not even.
It's just fear of the unknown. We only get 4 butterflies to do, so I've been hoarding my butterflies. If I don't use them, I hide them because the other people will steal them.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it was different. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be different. I'm glad I'm only doing 3 days. The people seem really nice, but it's a transient place. People come and go, and they look at you funny, and, it's the South Shore, so you're dealing with somewhat city. And, the phlebotomist just kind of...
And we're North Shore girls.
Kind of just give you a strange look.
It's like a whole different world down there.
It is.
I'm sure they think
people
about
are
that.
like, oh, you know how to go there, right? This and that. I'm like, I don't think I've gone to the place the same way twice.
No.
And the only way I know how to get back from there is the highway, which is 24 onto 93. I know.
That is a high-speed bowling alley. Yeah. That is what 24 is.
Well, it's funny because my coworker calls it the expressway. I'm like, that's not the expressway. She goes, to me it is. I'm like, all right, whatever floats your boat.
Crazy South Shore lady.
So, yeah, she is. Well, she doesn't drive on the highway at all. I'm like, oh, good luck to you there. But anyways. So, yeah, that was that. So that's a crush and a heartbreak. I don't know what to call it. Here's another heartbreak. I got paid for my last day on Wednesday. I got a pay stub. I thought it was direct deposit because I was told it was direct deposit. Yeah, no. Haven't seen it in my
So you have to cash it?
Well, at the bottom of my pay stub, it says manual check. I'm like, son of a gun. So I have yet to see it in the mail.
Oh, no.
I don't see it today. I'm going to make a phone call to... I don't know, human resources.
I guess you have to.
I don't know.
Where the heck is my check?
Because I was counting on that because I was getting paid. I got PTO.
Oh, good.
I wasn't expecting it. So I was getting severance, which I wasn't expecting. And then I got PTO, which is paid time off. Because I got 49 hours of PTO that they paid me for.
Wow.
So I was excited about that. I should be getting paid from U.S. Laboratories. I'm not sure if it's this week or next, so I really need a paycheck. Thank gosh for my overnight job, because at least that I got. It's not much of a paycheck, but it's a paycheck.
Better than nothing.
So what I've been doing is taking from our savings, which is our tax money that we use for the house. Yeah. And I said to Kim, I will take what my paycheck is worth from the savings, and when I get paid, I'll just put it right back in the savings. And he's fine with that, as long as it balances out.
So that's good.
Yeah, so a crush and a heartbreak. We went hiking on Sunday to Mount Monadnock up in New Hampshire, which is about an hour and a half ride from here. It's the most hiked mountain in the New England area.
Yeah, I love Monadnock. That was a fun hike.
It was a decent enough day. I posted some pictures that I honestly have to tell you I stole from the web because I didn't bring our camera. So somebody noted, oh, it's really green down there. I'm like, yeah, that's not really accurate pictures. But it gives you, on my Instagram, gives you an idea of what type of climb it is. We did not make it to the top. Me and Zachary took our time. We were 3/4 of the way when Cam called at the top, and he went with some friends, and they said that they were gonna head back down. I said, well, then I'm turning around. And at one point, we did meet. I'm not out of shape, for one thing, but my knees are not good. I'm old. And Zachary, we just let him take his time. And Cam's like, well, he doesn't have stamina. I'm like, hello, he's had open heart surgery. And his valves aren't as big as ours. Because one of them
had a liver transplant too. There's a lot going on in that
liver
little body.
Shouldn't affect it, but the heart, I'm not going to push. I'm not pushing him. I'm like, if he wants to take his time, he can take his time. I think he was being kind for me, really, because I think if it was him and Max, they would have been fine up the mountain. I was taking my time, so that was fun. We had a lot of fun. Met his friends, and I did knit in the car a little bit.
Cool,
because I wasn't driving. So, but yeah, so knitting will be a little slow for me now. I apologize.
That's all right.
We'll see. We'll see what we can do. I still plan on knitting, at soccer, and that maybe sucks because you want to pay attention to the game. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to be an adjustment time, so please bear with me. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. I'm a little nervous. I will admit to that with the job.
Yeah, it's going to be fine, though. I know. I know that you're good at what you do, and once you get used to it, you'll be fine.
Yeah. So those, I think, are my crushes and heartbreaks.
Well, my heartbreak is my mom went home this morning. That's why I was up at 4:30.
You looking for more ants?
Well, you looked up and it scared me.
Sorry, we had a little ant infestation.
We had to cut out quite a bit of time. I just thought that was an ant right there. I was like, there was like a sudden ant infestation. I see one over there on the wall.
Do you?
Yeah, just let's keep going. We're not stopping again.
No, I don't know. Springtime is bad for ants. We're recording in an addition, and where they're on the wall is where the outside wall used to be.
Yeah,
so I'm not sure if that's why.
Somehow. But so my heartbreak is that I took my mom home. We had a great vacation with her. She helped me out with the kids, and she and I spent a lot of time together, like doing the stuff that we like to do, like shopping and going out to lunch and just adult time. I don't get a lot of adult time because I have kids and I'm a stay-at-home mom. Sheila and my Monday night coffee date with my friend are the only adult time that I really get other than like interacting with my husband. So it was nice to have somebody to hang out with every day. So that's a little bit of a heartbreak, but I'll see her in a couple weeks.
That's why that knot was there.
Oh, because it's not even attached. And my crush is that I spent the weekend at the Maryland Sheep and Wool with 4 of my friends, and we had a really nice time. And Maryland Sheep and Wool, I'll talk about it more in Gossip and Innuendo, but that is a really fun festival, and I am going to make that an annual trip.
Oh, good.
I decided that is my annual trip.
Then I will try and start saving for that one as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and we had a great time.
Oh, good.
So that's pretty much it for my crushes and heartbreak.
I want to mention one other heartbreak. So we were hiking, and I realized what day it was. May the 4th.
Yeah.
May the 4th be with you, by the way.
May the 4th be with you.
My mom passed away on May the 4th.
Aww.
So I'm in the middle of the trail going down, and I started to cry a little bit, and Zachary's like, come here, Mama.
Aww.
And he gave me a big hug. So it was kind of nice, but it's a little heartbreak. I do miss my mom every day. And I was just telling him that, Nana, that's what she would have been called. Nana would have eaten my boys up.
Yeah, she would.
She would have been making Zachary everything and anything he wanted. She used to sew. I don't. So pajamas, and she would be eating him up.
So this is a Baubles and Bling full episode.
Well, let me get mine done out of the way.
Sheila has Baubles and Bling.
I have Baubles and Bling from Knitting's My Bag, who relayed them through Wendy. And when you posted your picture on Instagram, I was saying, oh, please, I hope she gave me a couple. I hope she gave me a couple. She did. So these, I love these. And I like the ones that Jess makes, Jessalou.
Yeah.
I like these better because they're square and smaller. Like, they fit better for me. Because you have the bigger bags. I use the smaller tie string or
Yeah.
drawstring bags. So these work better for me. So this is my little accessory pouch. Like I'll throw some needles and stuff, and I love the watermelon. And Wendy picked Asian theme for me.
For myself too.
But she picked, and they smell like lavender or something.
Yeah, well that's because they were in with one of my Baubles and Bling.
Oh, okay. So these are more needle holders, right?
Well, they can be an accessory
Anything,
pouch, but your circulars fit really nice in them because
I like this.
the bottom curve like snuggles the
Right.
curve of your cords.
So, I have 3 of these, so thank you very much, Lois. I really do appreciate it. I love watermelon. Thank you for picking these out. These are perfect for me.
Oh, I'm so glad that you like that.
Thank you. So those are my Baubles and Bling. Thank you, everybody. I really wish I could have gone.
Yeah, everybody missed you, Sheila. We did.
It's not in the cards. Maybe next year.
I hope so. So, Baubles and Bling. These are the ones that I picked out for myself. I have a sweater bag that matches this one. And I have a large project bag, a medium project bag that matches this one. See, isn't that cute? I like this one because it had the big geisha on the back. And then I just thought this colors were really pretty. So I picked that
I like that one.
So one of the first things I did when I was at Sheep and Wool is I bought 2 more signature needles. This is my birthday gift.
To yourself
I told my
yourself?
husband that Maryland Sheep and Wool was my trifecta gift. So I said, you don't have to get me anything. I went for 4 days. I stayed in a hotel. I paid for a plane flight. I had, I ate out a couple of nights. There was a rental car, and I bought things for myself. And I'm like, that is the nicest, that's a night more than I deserve, probably. So, and I had a budget. I spent, at the Sheep and Wool, I spent a little over $200, maybe $250.
Not actually that bad.
No, and I only bought things that I really, wanted or really needed. So I bought 2 more signature needles. I have them in here.
Now, do you have those sizes already?
I do, but I have the fixed. These are the interchangeables.
Oh, all right.
And I got size 4 and size 6 because those are the ones I most commonly use. And it's now I can have more than one project going with those size needles. And I think for Christmas I'm going to ask for 5 and a 7. And then all I need is 1 more 8, and I'm pretty much done. So I have the full set from 3 to 10, and I'm just now gonna double everything. Okay. So,
and they haven't come out with sock sizes yet.
I don't know. I didn't ask because I'm like, when am I ever gonna need another sock? Probably never. So these were Lois's little favor gifts to everybody, and the next thing that I bought this at Susan's Fibers. This is a Frabjous Fiber Pigments of Imagination stripy bat in the Carmeline colorway. It's got sparkle, merino, and it's colors. 3 ounces. I love it too.
That doesn't really seem like you though.
I just thought it looked so pretty.
It does, but those
it's pale rainbow. I was trying to get a little bit outside of my box with this. I wanted something rainbow, but I wanted something subtle, and I love how pale and subtle this is.
Rainbow,
yeah. So
I do too. That's really pretty.
As soon as I finish my Luette stuff, I might throw this on for a quick spin as a palette cleanser. I'm gonna spin it as thin as I can and Navajo apply it to keep the colors together, so it's a gradient. I think it's gonna be gorgeous. And I'll start with the whitish pale pink, and I'll spin to the purple, and then I'll start this bat from the purple and spin to the yellow. I think it's going to be beautiful. So that's number 1. That was from Sally's Fibers. Number 2, I stopped to chat with my gal, Chris, from Into the World.
That's pretty.
And I bought this Falkland carded bat in the 221B colorway. First of all, I liked it because I don't have a lot of colors like this. It's purple. I know I have purple, but I like how it's gray and a little bit of khaki in there. So it's a little bit different than my normal palette. Second of all, 221B, that has to do with Sherlock Holmes, who I love.
Sorry.
So I had to buy that. This is Falkland, and it's 4 ounces. And I had a great time catching up with Chris. I was not able to get it. I mean, I said hello to her on Wednesday. I'm so tired. On Saturday, but her booth was packed.
I'm sure.
So I popped my head in. I got there before the registers opened on Sunday, and I went and hung out with her for a little bit and chatted with her and her husband and some nice people I met in her booth. So that was fun. You all know that this...
Did you buy another one?
Yeah.
The same one?
Nope. So this is the one that I just spun. This is a fiber optic gradient bat. It goes from black to teal, and it was called Blackbird. I brought this one. It is Dusty Plum Olive Gradient, and it goes from olive to purple, which I might already own one of these in my
I think you might, because
stash.
it looks familiar.
I know, but it's so pretty. I don't know if I own this one. I'm not 100% sure. I looked, and I didn't see it, but it might be one of the ones that didn't get into my thing. And then I also bought Wild Thyme Gradient, which goes from a pale green to a blue, which I think is so gorgeous. I love it. Fiber Optic was the first booth that we went to on day one of the festival because we all wanted to get something from there.
Right.
And I picked up those two gradient ones. And then I picked up this braid from Hobbledehoy. It's in the Metropolis colorway, and I love it because it's mostly blues and purples, but then there's like this crazy pop of acid green that's like randomly in it. And this is Merino Wool and Tussa Silk 80/20, and I love it. I think it's so pretty. And these are my colors. Like, this is everything that I own are these colors. It's got like that aqua blue and the electric green and the purple and a little bit of pink and some gray. I love it. So yeah, and I met the lady that does Hobbledehoy.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that was really nice. That's what I like about going to festivals is you get to actually meet the people. Because I have some of the first bats I ever received for my spinning wheel were from Hobbledehoy. My husband ordered them from her. So that was really nice. And then the last thing that I bought, I have to tell the story behind this, is this yarn called Portland Plaid. It's Socks That Rock Lightweight. Here's the story behind it. Lois and I, Knitting's my bag, Lois, and I were standing outside the building where they were selling the Socks That Rock. And there was like a grid wall in front of a window. So we're outside of the building, there's this open window, and there's a grid wall right there. So we were standing by the grid wall and like looking at the colors through the grid because they were hanging on the other side. And Lois said, "Oh my God, what's that one that has the bright pop of like pink red?" And I was like, "I don't know." So we're like, we really like that. And so we were putting our hands through the grid and like turning it so we could read the labels. And it was called Portland Plaid. And she and I, of course, immediately associate it with Portland, Maine. But I'm sure because of where Blue Moon Fiber Arts is located, it's probably Portland, Oregon.
Oh, right.
But we were like, oh God, we really like that one. And I said, well, tomorrow there was a big line there. It was the Fold. The Fold sells Socks That Rock. All they sell is Socks That Rock pretty much now. So that was basically it. I don't think there was anything other than Socks That Rock at that booth. So I said, well, we'll come back here tomorrow because neither one of us were like, ooh, we need to buy that. And we were both like, oh, it's lightweight. I don't know. But it's so pretty. And they didn't have it in the heavier weight. And we found out why, because as we were talking and planning, hands start grabbing the skeins from the other side. And the person was wearing green, so I thought it was our friend Suzanne. So I went, hey, through the little grid, but it wasn't her.
Oh.
I said to Lois, if we want that, we better get in there. So we like bullied our way in and grabbed two skeins. And everyone that I met that day, like I met a bunch of viewers, it seemed like everyone I met had bought the same colorway.
Really?
It was very popular. They had it on fiber too, but I just really wanted it in the skein.
Now, you haven't spun with any Blue Moon Fiber at all, have you?
I don't know any of that. Oh. But I wanted to get this in sock yarn because if I don't make something out of it, I'll give it to my mom and she'll make socks for me. So that was my yarn splurge.
Tempt her with that. Geez, she'll never want to knit with anything else.
Now, I want to show you some other stuff. Into the World, I got a cool bumper sticker. And the Signature Needle Arts gave me this little rubbery thing that helps you twist the needle really tight so it won't unscrew. So I was excited by that. Now, Lois also bought me handcrafted soap from Leslie's Garden.
That's the reason why my bag smells
That's why your bag smells like lavender. This is from Leslie's Garden.
It's pretty.
She is at www.lesliesgarden.com. And she is from Maryland. And it is yum. I love lavender. She picked out a bunch of different ones. So I met a couple of people at the festival. My gal Fire Knits, who was my rehab Twitter buddy.
Oh, yeah.
She caught up with me and gave me Old Bay seasoning, which is the big thing in Maryland.
Yeah, because they use that for crabs.
Yep, crab, shrimp, chicken. But I found out that you can use it on a bacon, egg, and cheese. Bacon, lettuce, and tomato with mayo, and you put this in the mayo. You can put it on corn on the cob. They told me like a million different things.
My father used to do that.
People use it for everything.
My father used to use that with Laurie's seasoning salt.
Yeah.
On his chicken.
Well,
it's really good.
I'm really excited to try out my Old Bay, and I love it that she just gave me this little thing from Maryland.
It's cute.
Like a Maryland thing. So it's awesome. So, and it was awesome to see her in person. Like, I'd met her on VKN before, but I had never, like, seen her in real life. I got to see her in real life, and I loved Maryland. It was very nice there.
Oh, good.
So I got the Old Bay seasoning. So the other person that I got to meet was Pat, who is Looney Hiker on Ravelry, and her husband Don, who's a retired judge. And I am Don's biggest fan ever. We met them up at the festival, but then we met up with them again at our hotel in the lobby, and we hung out with them for a couple of hours chatting.
Oh, good.
And I love Pat. I've talked to Pat a lot because she VKNs with me frequently. But excuse me, I've never gotten to talk to Don before. He and I had the best conversation about all of our legal things because he's like the only person I ever met, I mean, in the knitting community who like wants to talk about that kind of stuff because, you know, he was a judge and I was an attorney and we just got going. I talked with him. He was so funny. I loved him. And I was telling him this experience, and as I tell you again, you're going to see the hair on my skin is it's standing up. I met this inmate when I was working, and when you looked in his eyes, I can't explain it to you, but it just emanated pure evil.
Really?
And I said, nobody gets it. And he's like, I had a guy like that too. And he's like, you know, people who haven't been in that, like if you haven't been in that particular situation of dealing with criminal inmates, you know, hardcore incarcerated long-term people, you don't know what it's like. Well, Pat made me a pig. That flies to match my Jessalou pig bag.
Oh,
I
okay.
love so much. That had my project of shame, the socks, for so long. So I love this. She gave Lois a little birdie.
Oh, how cute.
That's my piggy. I'm going to call it Pat the piggy. Not that I think Pat is a pig, but because it was made by Pat and it will remind me of her. So the last thing that I got is on Saturday, the girls had gotten together to surprise me. And they had 4 of these old-fashioned, you know, steel needles. And they had put a skeins of yarn on the end.
Almost
and they
like
gave me a yarn bouquet. So there were like 4 yarn flowers, and they were wrapped in like a flower thing with a card. And I don't know if I brought the card. The card was really funny. I didn't bring the card. I Instagrammed the card, though. So if you're interested, you can see it on my Instagram, which is at Knit1Wendy. That's my Instagram name. I have a private account, but if you ask to follow me and I can tell that you're a knitter, I'll let you in. So Suzanne, who is also known as Knitting Nirvana, gave me 100% baby camel lace yarn.
Oh, wow.
It smells good. It smells, she had it in something scented, and then it's been with my lavender. It smells so good. And it's baby camel. I'm really excited. I know exactly what I'm going to knit out of this.
Oh, yeah?
If I have enough yardage, I have about 800 yards. I think I'm going to knit Morticia because Fire Knits was doing Morticia on. She just finished it and it's beautiful. And I think it would be really cool to do this out of it. So there's that. Denise gave me Gail's Art, Sinful colorway, 80% merino, 10% nylon, 10% cashmere. It's fingering weight, and she gave it to me because she knows I would love these colors.
Colors are gorgeous.
They are gorgeous. It's the Sinful colorway, and the sock yarn is so beautiful, and they all picked stuff that they knew they would love. You're going to be jealous of this.
I see that.
This is from Tara.
Okay.
Who's Tara Lynn, some numbers. The guy where Sheila D, some numbers. Gave me this Jasper Socks That Rock, medium weight.
Very pretty.
I know, I love it. I love it. And Lois gave me Caper Sock, String Theory, Caper Sock, hand-dyed, in the Peacock colorway.
That's pretty.
I know, I love it. I love Caper Theory. It's my favorite sock yarn.
Caper Sock. string theory.
Yes.
You said caper theory.
Caper theory. I can't be responsible for anything that comes out of my mouth today because I am so sleep deprived. It's ridiculous. And then I bought as my souvenir some vintage rose stitch markers. I got a little shawl pin that I can hang them on, and I got the Maryland sheep and wool stitch markers. They have a little crab, a little sheep, some kind of a bird that's in Maryland that I can't identify.
Oh, it looks like a raven.
It's a raven?
Most likely.
Is that a Maryland thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Baltimore. Because Edgar Allan Poe is from Baltimore, I believe.
Oh, yeah, Edgar Allan Poe. You're right. And then there's a lighthouse and a key for F. Scott Key, who did the and the Rockets, Red Glare.
Yeah, I was just
that
going
guy.
to say, I'm like,
The Star Spangled Banner. So that was my little treat to myself. So it was a very awesome weekend. I loved everything that I got. I had to show this. This is from Signature Needles. Signature Needles are sharp. So they give you this warning. Don't jab your hand with Signature Needles.
Well, did you say a diabolical yarn?
Diabolical yarn got nerve damage from
a signature
double point. It's really dangerous. You have to be careful with them.
That's funny.
So be advised. But I loved that little warning card. I thought that was super cute. So, yeah, that was a lot of baubles and bling for me. But I have to say, other than the yarn that I bought for the wedding shawl, which I handed off this weekend, and the recipient was very pleased with it. She texted me this morning at 3 a.m. That was when she was picking her mom up. Aside from that yarn and the monthly club that I've just been signed up in, I haven't bought anything except the fluorescent yarn for knitting.
Yeah, the only thing I've bought is the
snitches.
Yep.
So I've been really good because I knew I was going to do big damage here, and I'll probably do big damage at Rhinebeck. Maybe not. Maybe by then I won't need anything, but
you never need anything.
No. But like I said, my husband, I am going to put a picture in right here now. This is the picture that I texted to my husband. I said, I was asking him, could he pick me up at the airport? And then I texted him a picture of a bed covered with fiber. That it was all five of us put all our stuff in one bed, and we took a picture of it. My husband texted back, I don't know if I can afford the gas to pick you up after you bought all that wool.
I love that. I thought that was great.
So I texted him back with a picture of just the things that I bought. Was not a lot. And he was like, okay. He was a little panicky. He said at first he was like, holy. And then he was like, oh, that can't be real. And then I'm going to put another picture here of Lois lying on the bed with all the stuff so you can see it. I'll put her in for size reference. It was a lot of stuff with 5 people on one bed.
I bet.
Yeah.
I saw it on Instagram.
It was crazy. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Gossip and innuendo.
I got really nothing.
All of the festival information is written up. We were at Connecticut last weekend. I was at Maryland this weekend. I will be at New Hampshire next weekend with my family, which I'm really looking forward to because I haven't caught up with Amy from Spunky Eclectic in a while. So I'm really looking forward to hanging with her for a little bit. And I think Jess is going to be there, so...
I'm at Webb's tent sale is on the 16th.
In case anyone's wondering, I did buy something for Sheila at the festival, but I'm not going to give it to her until her birthday. So
which is in September.
I was thinking of you.
I know. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, you were thinking of me because you butt dialed me.
I butt dialed Sheila, and she said, do you miss me that much? I was like, my butt does. We're going to be up at a lot of the festivals coming up, so... if you see me, come up to me. I met so many nice people that came up. I gave buttons to people at Maryland. I didn't go to the podcaster meetup. I'm sorry about that.
There was a podcaster meetup.
There was. I think a bunch of people were there. I know that Fancy Pants and Tina from Knitting
I saw
Dreams
Looney
was there.
Hiker was posting a bunch of pictures of who
I think
she saw.
saw the Knit Girls and There was one other person there too, but I can't remember who it is. But yeah, so many nice people. Like half the people I ran into had gotten that Portland plaid. They were like, I bought that too. Because of course, everyone that I met, I was like, what'd you buy? This is what I bought. Because I love to see what people are, getting into. We just had a great time. I had something called ribbon chips that were like spiral cut potatoes, really thin, and then they made them like potato chips. But then you put cheese.
I saw that on
somebody
Suzanne's.
Suzanne Instagrammed it. Denise and Lois and I shared a plate because
they're huge.
Suzanne and Tara are gluten free, so they could only eat certain things, and we were like, we want to eat like a regular lunch, so we're just gonna share a plate. And then we had a really good like chicken kebab sandwich that was like lettuce and tomato and grilled chicken. It was really good.
Oh, good.
The food there was great. We got a giant bag of kettle corn that we brought back to the hotel room and we all ate. Denise and I were able to mimic the cherry limeade cocktail that I had at Yard House that was so good. So we made that the last night we had. Made a couple of those. That was fun. We ate at Houlihan's. I didn't even know Houlihan's existed anymore. The last time I ate at Houlihan's, I was in my early 20s in Boston. We had lunch at Houlihan's. It was delicious. It was across from our hotel. Our hotel was great. It had a free breakfast. We had 2 king-size bedrooms and a big living room and a kitchen.
Oh, good.
So we had takeout most nights. We got takeout and we ate in the kitchen, in the living room, I mean. And we had 2 bathrooms, so that was really good for 5 people.
That is good. It's a nice hotel.
It was a nice hotel. If you haven't been to Maryland Sheep and Wool and you can get there somehow, I highly recommend it. I'll tell you that my airline ticket from Boston to Maryland was $155 round trip on JetBlue.
Excuse me.
Which I think is pretty affordable.
That is pretty good.
And my hotel room that I split was about $100, $110
for the whole weekend.
For the whole weekend. So it's an expense. I'm not going to say not everybody has $250, $260 that they can throw around. Right. But it's doable. And if you drove, it would only be $110 for the weekend.
Well, with gas and stuff.
But you know what I mean, like your major expense.
So we've already drawn for the prizes. I got them ready before she came with the random number generator. Random.org. So we're drawing for the Annika KAL Chevron Chapeu knit-along that we did. There were 10 entries, and number 10 won, which was Parrot Green. Real name is Carrie, and she did the Annika KAL. So you win the owl box bag.
It's super cute.
Super cute.
It's a little box bag, and I love the cute pull on the
So it's got a little owl for the pull or attached to the pull.
Like bag jewelry.
And then there's a little carabiner with a ladybug on it.
So you could attach it to something.
See?
It's so cute. And this is a ladybug stitch marker, so you can take it off and put it on.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's a ladybug stitch marker. So you can use it. It's super cute. It was lovingly donated to our podcast as a gift.
Yes, and we apologize that we don't remember who.
We did announce who donated it when we received it.
But we didn't keep the name.
But it's been so long. I think it was the person that gave us all that beautiful self-striping Halloween yarn.
Oh, yeah. So we apologize.
But
we appreciate it. So Parrot Green, Carrie, email me, PM me through Ravelry your snail mail address, and I will get it out to you.
Yes.
So for the April Knit Along, Crochet Along Stash Busting, the winner was number 37. Artist Maybe is the name. Mary is her real name. She knit some socks with stash from August of 2013. So Mary, Artist Maybe, you win the online Super Sock self-striping yarn. And the reason we're doing this is hoping that you will enter. I posted up May's Stash Busting Knit Along.
We're still doing the stash busting. Yeah.
We're also going to do a sock knit along. I'm going to focus on the spiral, Mystik spiral, but any sock will
Any
do.
sock, free pattern, paid pattern.
And you can post the sock.
Of your own design.
If it's from Stash, you can post it in the Stash knit along. And if it's not from Stash, not like old enough, you can post it in the sock. Or you can post both as long as it's from Stash.
Yeah.
Older Stash.
So
I will post that up after today. And double dip. So Mary and Carrie, please post PM me your snail mail address, and I will get that out.
And since Sheila's sending it out, it will probably get to you a lot faster than me.
Well, if you send it to me within a couple of days, if it's after Monday or Tuesday, it doesn't get sent out until the following Monday or Tuesday. I apologize,
when she can hit the post office.
For 12-hour days, there's just no way I can get to the post office in time before it closes.
Yeah, it's better than me because I'm forgetful and lazy.
So
I have to just be honest about it.
Okay.
Mailing is one. I don't know why it seems so hard to go to the post office. I live within walking distance of the post office, and I can only point to my seasonal affective disorder right now and say this has really been screwing me up this year. Hopefully that's going to be over with now that we're having a new season. So,
on that note, thank you for watching us. We really do appreciate it.
Yep. I will link information about the 2 knit-alongs that we're doing this month in the show notes, as well as they are in the group.
Yep.
And have a great week.
Yep.